Want to make, like, I always want to do stuff that when we're doing stuff for music that fits the makes it reminds you of the, who's this guy?
Two men, one got shot 9 times and survived. The other overdosed on methadone and nearly died alone on his bathroom floor. And somehow, these two found each other, built an empire together, and created one of the most unbreakable bonds hip-hop has ever seen. This isn't just a story about rap. This is a story about loyalty, survival, and what it really means to have someone in your corner when the whole world is against you. This is Eminem and 50 Cent, the full story. Okay, if you enjoyed this, make sure to follow, like, share with your friends and family, and drop your thoughts in the comments. All right. To understand why this friendship hit different, you need to understand where both of these men were before they found each other. 50 Cent in the year 2000 was essentially radioactive. He'd released How to Rob, a track where he literally threatened to rob almost every major artist in the industry. Labels were terrified of him. Nobody would touch him. Then came the beef with Ja Rule. It started in 1999 when one of 50's affiliates allegedly robbed Ja Rule at gunpoint in Queens. Things escalated. They clashed at a club. 50 dropped the diss track, Life's on the Line. And then, in Atlanta, at a show where they were both booked to perform, it turned physical. And then, 50 Cent got shot 9 times in front of his grandmother's house in South Jamaica, Queens. 9 times. He survived. But even after all that, no label would sign him. He was too dangerous, too controversial, too much of a liability. So what did he do? He linked up with a DJ named Woo Kid and started recording mixtapes out of a house in Connecticut. Grinding, hungry, relentless. Those mixtapes found their way to Detroit, to a guy named Marshall Mathers. Eminem couldn't stop listening. He said the tapes were so good that he brought them to Dr. Dre immediately. And Dre's reaction? Let's just say the meeting was scheduled for the next day. As 50 himself recalled, he flew out to LA, sat across from the two most powerful men in hip-hop, and sold himself. He told them exactly what he wanted to do. He showed them who he was. The deal that came out of that meeting was a joint venture between Eminem's Shady Records and Dr. Dre's Aftermath Records, both under Intercorp. 50 didn't just get signed, he got drafted onto what he called, in his own words, the Dream Team. I have two of the coolest bodyguards, Dr. Dre and Eminem. From underground mixtapes to the most powerful label structure in the game, in one meeting. In 2003, Get Rich or Die Tryin' dropped. It sold over 800,000 copies in its first 4 days. It became one of the fastest-selling debut albums in history. Eminem featured on 2 tracks, and their chemistry was immediate, undeniable. In Patiently Waiting, 50 called Marshall his favorite white boy, which, coming from 50 Cent, is genuinely one of the highest compliments in existence. But beyond the music, something else was forming. They started performing together, spending time together, and 50 said something in an interview that tells you everything. When we don't see each other for 3 months, and then we do, it's the same as it was in 2002. That's not a business relationship, that's a brotherhood. And to prove it, when 50 won a BET award, Eminem came out on stage, held the award, and told the audience that 50 told him to come hold it just so he could get used to the weight of it, because he was going to be getting a lot of them. That's a man who believes in you. Remember that Ja Rule beef we mentioned earlier? Yeah, it followed 50 Cent into his new life, and now it became Eminem's problem too. Ja Rule was furious that Eminem had signed 50, so he came at Marshall directly, and he did the one thing you should never do. He brought up Haley, Eminem's daughter, in a diss track. The response was Haley's Revenge, then a joint diss with 50 Cent called Hail Mary. They went to war together, back to back, side by side. And when Eminem later reflected on the whole thing in Like Toy Soldiers, you could hear the exhaustion. He was done with the beef cycle. He'd won, he knew it, and he wanted out. But the message was clear. You come for one of them, you come for both of them. That's the deal. Now here's the part of the story that most people gloss over, but it's the most important part. Between 2006 and 2008, Eminem was disappearing. His close friend and hype man Proof was murdered in 2006, and for Marshall, that was the breaking point. He said himself it gave him the perfect reason to get high again. At his worst, he weighed 230 pounds. He was barely functional. In interviews, he couldn't track conversations. At one point, during a BET performance of You Don't Know with 50 Cent, the host asked Em a question, and he had no idea what she was saying. 50 covered for him, answered every question, protected him in real time on national television without missing a beat. Then came the night Eminem nearly died. He took too many pills, felt sick, crawled to the bathroom floor, dialed an ambulance. The doctors who arrived said if he'd waited 2 more hours, he would have been dead. He got out of the hospital a week later and started using again. But when Eminem finally came through the other side, when he finished rehab and started recording again, who was on Crack a Bottle, the first single off the comeback album release? 50 Cent. He didn't disappear when M was broken. He was there when M came back. Okay, we need to acknowledge that this friendship is also genuinely deeply hilarious. In one interview, 50 recalled being in the hospital after severe food poisoning from a burger. He's lying there, feeling terrible. His phone rings. It's Eminem. And M goes, "Yo, if you survived getting shot 9 times and you die from a burger, this ain't gonna go right. People are not gonna be feeling this." 50 said that made him feel instantly better. And then there's the text message 50 received out of nowhere where Eminem referenced a song lyric about flying private, repurposing it in the most inappropriate, chaotic way possible just to make 50 laugh. 50's response? "I love him. That's my guy." That tells you more about this friendship than any award speech ever could. Fast forward to 2018, Eminem drops Kamikaze, the most talked about album of the year. MGK fires back with Rap Devil. The whole world is watching. Eminem drops Kill Shot in 48 hours. And 50 Cent was on Instagram immediately. Posted, "Still #1, love you win, you my friend for life." Then when people started thinking about going up against M, 50 posted a direct warning. If anybody's thinking of doing that type of competition with Eminem, they should stop right away because it's not gonna turn out good. That's your hype man. That's your day one. Then came 2022, the Super Bowl halftime show, one of the most watched performances in television history. Eminem, 50, Dre, Snoop, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige, all on that stage together. And when the World Cup came calling with a $9 million offer, 8 for M, 1 for 50, Eminem turned it down because the split wasn't right for his partner. That's it. That's the whole story. And through all of it, 50 is out here publicly asking, why did Jay-Z call him the white guy? Why didn't he say the biggest rap artist in the world? Even in 2022, 50 Cent is out here defending Eminem's legacy like it's personal, because it is personal. Here's what nobody talks about when they talk about Eminem and 50 Cent. In an industry built on ego, rivalry, and disposability, these two men chose each other, repeatedly, consistently, across 20-plus years of music, addiction, beef, loss, and comeback. 50 covered for M when he was too high to speak on national TV. M was there at 50's Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, delivering a speech that made grown men emotional. They turned down $100 million worth of opportunities together because of loyalty. 50 said it best. "He's one of my best friends because I can trust that he's going to be honest. His constructive criticism, I actually listen to the music before it goes out." That's not a PR relationship. That's not a label relationship. That's two men from completely different worlds who found in each other something they couldn't find anywhere else. And that is why 20 years later, when people write the history of hip-hop, their names will always appear together. Drop a comment. What's your favorite M and 50 collaboration of all time? The collab that defined an era for you. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.